Welcome, my little YouTube babies. I have a great topic for us today, but before we get into that, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment for us today. But before we get into that, go ahead and like, subscribe, comments, because I actually do like to talk to you guys. I've been having fun, okay? I love it here. And if you haven't noticed, I have a bit of the crackhead energy right now. So there's no telling what we're gonna get in this video. So get into it. Today we're going to talk about moving. I am a self-proclaimed nomad at this point in my life. And oof, baby, has that come with some trials and tribulations. Also, this angle is not it. We good? Okay. Anyways, it's come with some trials and tribulations, right? For those who don't know, who are new to the channel, who don't know me in real life, I have moved since 2018. I've lived in 7 different states. Let's count them actually. Memphis, I was only there for 3 months. That was 2018. Then I went back to Alabama, so that's 2 moves. And then I moved to Florida for a year and a half. 2019, I moved to Houston. From Houston to Atlanta, 6 months. Hated it. From Atlanta to Arizona, from Arizona to Dallas. Okay, so 7 moves since 2018. The bigger moves being from 2019 to now, because I just moved to Dallas 2024 with July. So I think we're just gonna talk about the big moves, not the little. I can give you the little tidbits. Memphis was more for clinical studies kind of thing, clinical rotations. For those who don't know, I'm an occupational therapist by career. However, your girl has so many passions that OT has definitely been on the little back burner. But also, you know, they let your girl go. So they're lost. Anyways, so 2019, I was living in Florida. I was living with family. So I'd moved there to actually start my career as an occupational therapist. I took my boards. I think I was there from 2018 to 2019. 2018, I was studying for my boards. 2019, passed my boards, started working. Cool. My family had a very big loss from somebody that in my family that we just genuinely like. I mean, you know, you love the people in your family. I was gonna say you love everyone in your family, but you don't sometimes. Regardless, I lost a family member, and he was very close, near and dear to my heart. And around that time, I was just getting out of college, grad school. I had just gotten through like all those stressors. For the people who went to grad school, if you know, you know. By the way, Tuskegee University, the best, okay? The absolute best HBCU, that's me. Anyways, so after he passed, it's that whole like realization of life is so short, you just have to do the things that you want to do. So he passed in end of May, beginning of June. So beginning of June, I immediately decided I was moving. That's it. Like, I can't stay in this, because Florida, the part of Florida I was in was very close to Alabama, and it's kind of like it still had the same feeling of being in Alabama. So I was just like, no, I need to get out. I need to explore. I need to experience life. Life is short. Cool. So in June, I decided I was going to move, and I just picked a place. I picked Texas, and the way it kind of happened, Texas had always been on my list. I had never visited, never been to any city in Texas ever, but I had made some friends in Florida, and one of my friends had friends. She's from Houston, and I was just like, forget it. I can do it. Just friends of friends, regardless, even though I don't know them. They gotta be cool, right? So I ended up driving my friend out there. Another friend, different friend. I ended up driving her out there because she actually ended up moving out there. We went to the same school, same program, same degree, my girl. So I drove her out there to help her move. And I was like, that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm moving. Don't care, don't know how, whatever. Made the decision in June. I saved $10,000 in my career in 3 months. This is probably the best move I've ever had. It goes downhill from there, but I got a lot of tips and tricks for you guys from all of these moves. Okay, so boom. 3 months saved up $10,000. I ended up being generous enough to give someone 3,000 of that. So I moved with 7,000. And I had not been to Texas, but that one time I drove my friend out there. I ended up going to visit in September. I looked at an apartment. I gave myself, wow, I just had a realization I've done this twice. I found an apartment within 2 days twice. That's crazy. Okay, I need to write a book. Because girl, how the heck are you finding these apartments? So I drove to Houston with my mom. We got a hotel. I looked for apartments for 2 days. The first day, and I didn't have like an apartment finder. I didn't like the people that you can hire. I didn't know anything. I had a friend who, like the friend I'd driven out there, I knew she lived in an area, so I looked at apartments near her area. And then I ended up going to meet her at work one day. The second day I was there, because the first day, all of them were a bust. I had set a budget. So I think my budget at the time, this was 2019. So my budget was actually like $800, because what, a 1-bedroom, $1,000 is crazy. Whatever. So I ended up going to my friend's job. Wow, tongue-tied. Going to my friend's job, and there was an apartment complex in the cut. I'm talking about in the cut, ducked off. And your girl I've never been a city girl liver. I like the little outskirts. Some country. I love my little country vibes. I'm from from a very small town in Alabama. So I'm just used to those vibes. But I did want to be in the city, obviously. So needless to say, when I just so happened to be driving from her job, saw this cute little apartment complex. I was like, screw it. I'm going to just go see. Y'all, I pull up there, me and my mom get there, and like immediately fall in love. There's just like this feeling, this knowing. And I ended up talking them down. Your girl can be persuasive when she wants to be. I ended up talking them down and getting a 900 something square foot apartment in Houston with a garage for $1,085 base rent. And I didn't have like the super renovated, but it wasn't like the bottom of the barrel either. Like I had pretty decent appliances. And yeah, so I talked them into that and got the apartment set up. It was great. So found that in September, moved in October. Again, didn't know shit about shit. Knew nothing about nothing. And I got there and I stayed there until COVID hit. So I moved in October. COVID hit like hard in March 2020. So I'd only been there a few months, but it started, the implications of it had started happening a couple of months after I moved. So it was crazy because I didn't know anybody. Even though I had friends of friends, I still didn't know anybody. I didn't have community. I get out there and then COVID hits and I'm like in my own little stinky depression because I'm just like, yo, what the heck? Even though I flourished and I gained a lot of skills and things, like I've been building on my skills in every move. So in Houston, I learned Reiki and I got into sound bowls, which I don't know if you can see them, but okay, well, they're hiding and I am showing y'all my boobs. Anyways, there's sound bowls down there. Forget that. Readjust it. Okay, so technology really just said screw you and gave out on me. Hopefully we can make it through this without this giving out on me again, but if not, y'all know the vibes. We're not perfect around here. Get into it. So anyways, like I was saying, COVID hit. I learned a lot of skills, sound baths, Reiki. I took all of those with me. Now I still practice them, but let's back up. So I think I was still working in my career, and that's when I started learning different skills that I brought with me, like I said. And I think 2020, I was there the whole year. 2021, I literally, that snowstorm that knocked out the grid. I don't know if y'all remember, if there's some Texans in here, that snowstorm that knocked out the grid in Florida, in February in Houston, that was the last straw for me. Between COVID and that and me being so far away from my family and not being able to see everybody, I'd had it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna move. And I do this thing with all of my moves. You'll realize there's a pattern. When I get this inkling, this knowing to move, I'm just like, I'm moving. If I say it in my head and I say it out loud, I'm moving. I might not have a plan. I usually don't, but I'm gonna make it work. So February, I was like, which basically really was the beginning of March, where I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to be here anymore. March, I went to Atlanta, which is a theme of mine. Like after I realized I've decided I'm gonna move, I'll just randomly visit immediately after, and it's not even planned, it just happens. But I went to go visit a friend. And I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. Boom, that's March. That's March. June or March, April, May. I didn't plan anything. I started applying for jobs, but I actually have family in Atlanta. So I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm not finna stress myself out. I do need to find an apartment, but I don't want to do the whole find something within 2 days. I don't have it in me. So March, April, May, June. May, I partied hard, okay? I did all the things I hadn't done in Texas and Houston. And by the way, if you've ever thought of moving to Houston, I would say for me, that's something I'm glad I did in my 20s and didn't do now in my 30s. In my earlier 20s or like mid 20s too, because Houston is the most outside, not real city I've ever lived in my life. It's just not, it's make-believe. Like, why am I out in the club on a Tuesday on a school night popping bottles and out the hell? So where was I getting this money? Like, girl, were you I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. I'm just not gonna say that. But was you slanging? Like, anyways, so yeah, if you're looking for the fun, maybe a little bit of scamming, but still some fun and a whole lot of drinking. Maybe I need to make a list of the things that I've gotten from each city too, because that's the most city girl life I've ever lived in my life. Houston was a city girl lifestyle. So yeah, anyways, by June, I was out of there. I packed all my stuff. I sold everything. And that's another thing, my biggest thing with moving, my biggest takeaway, if you can, get rid of that stuff. Like big things, like obviously your clothes and stuff and like things that mean things to you and like just certain smaller items, but like couches, beds, all those things. If you can start over, especially if you're looking to energetically start over, like just get a new start, I would say get rid of all that stuff. Just dump it, sell it, make that money to use to buy something else that you want to go towards your apartment if you're starting new. And then if you don't have that, you can also like still do it. Just know there's other things you have to worry about, like packing that up and traveling with that. So it's a whole thing. It depends on how far you're moving. I sold all my stuff. My favorite couch that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, which don't judge me because Facebook Marketplace be having the goods if you find the right people. Because the girl I found with the couch, baby, I paid next to nothing and she had just bought that couch. So there was nothing icky on it and I still got it cleaned. So anyways, boom, moved to Atlanta. I stayed there for 6 months. This is gonna be the quickest part of this moving 100 times story because baby, I got there and I like to be cute. I'm gonna have to show you this outfit, guys, because it's so cute. I'm in my little inner child era with the pigtails and the little clack of balls. I had lip liner on, but forgot to put it back on. Anyways, so get to Atlanta and my nails are always done at this point because I'm in Atlanta. I got to keep up with the girls. And I keep myself up, but I'm also not, like, I'm not a keeping up with the Jones kind of girl. And I feel like I was spending all my money. And this is a me thing. I'm not saying everybody is going to have this experience, but this is my story. Nails always done. I'm buying different clothes that's not typically my style. And I'm like trying to figure out my new style. I'm just always out. And it's different than Houston because in Houston, I was still myself, but I was just out. This time I'm like just out the heck side. Either way it goes, I was glad to be closer to home. That's why I moved there. Did not like Atlanta. Stayed there until I moved to Atlanta in June. I left December. And the funniest thing, like I was, at this point, I'm like struggling with my, like finding a job that I actually enjoy too. So it's just all these little things. Yeah, I literally did the thing again where I was like, hey, yo, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Made a decision. I had an ex, a non-ex actually. You know how you have a guy that you didn't date, but y'all spent so much of your years. I spent so many years on this man. It's like, I can't not call him my ex at this point because it just feels like, ugh. Anyways, I had an ex out there. We were still cool, non-ex. And we were still okay. And I met him in Alabama, but he moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Cool. I was like, okay, well, I know someone out here. I do want to go to Phoenix. but also I like to at least have someone close within proximity. So I had him there if I needed anything, and then I had my aunt who lived in California, which is like 4 hours away, which for me it's pretty good because a girl will drive. Okay, cool. So December I decided I was moving. By February I was in Arizona. And did I have a rhyme or a reason for choosing Arizona? No. I don't believe in when I move, I do a lot of things of thinking about weather. That's my first thing, because I don't believe in the cold. So the whole north is off limits. I've lived in almost every city or state in the South that I'm willing to move in, because I'm not going to Mississippi. I don't have anything against the Carolinas. I just don't want to be there. I've lived in Tennessee, Georgia. So at this point, I'm like, the South, I love, but I'm running out of places. The only thing left was the West Coast. I'm not a Cali girl. Don't hate me. I'm not a Cali girl. And I don't know what the rest of that is in the country, like all this extraness. So Arizona was literally it for me. I'm not even kidding. Cool. Started applying for jobs like I always do. And I actually ended up doing a travel contract. So I moved back into my house, my childhood home, in January, actually, because I was between Atlanta and Alabama. Moved back to my childhood home in January and started applying for jobs. Found a travel contract. Did not have the funds, because when I say I've traveled so much and done so much, like the most money I had was when I was in Houston, saving money, like stacking. But COVID came in. I didn't want to work as much because it was just hard in healthcare. It was like draining, and I was in inpatient rehab, and it was draining me. So my funds were not as great as I wanted them. So when it was time to move, I didn't have the funds to move the way I wanted to. I ended up getting, I kid you not, guys, if you get on Furnished Finder, like for travel therapists specifically, but there's other ways, like other companies that do it. I can't think of them right now. If I can, I'll post them. Or if you just want to ask, I'll find them. Regardless, I went to Furnished Finder to find a little apartment to like rent out short term. I thought it was going to be short term. Another story. But found it, and it's like a little, they had these casitas in Phoenix where they're like homes attached to the homes. And I found that, and it's like basically a little studio apartment attached to these people's house. Y'all, I had to pray about that one, because being attached to someone else's home and I don't know these people is crazy. But God got it together. So I found that place online after spending a month trying to find a place. It wasn't the best place. It wasn't the place I wanted like to really be at, but it was a stepping stone, if you will. Cool. At this point, it's February. I'm supposed to be gone by February. I'm supposed to start by February 20th, I think. And it's like the 15th or somewhere around there. I still don't have the money. Y'all, the taxes came through early. Never in my life has that happened. God be Godding all the time, because my taxes have never come early, ever. So my taxes came 2 days before I was supposed to move. I kid you not. And I took those taxes. I paid my stuff off. I paid my first month's rent. I put gas in my car. I drove my little belongings, because again, I've sold everything once again. And me and my 2013 Hyundai Elantra, rest in peace, my baby, we got on the road. Okay, we were out of there. 24-hour drive, 25-hour drive. So I spent 8 hours driving from Alabama to Houston. I stayed for 2 days, saw my friends, because I had made friends by then, of course. Stayed with my friends in Houston. Then I drove from Houston to Arizona, and that was a 17-hour drive. I stopped every 300 miles, and I did not take a break as far as like staying overnight. Like I drove the full 17-hour drive, 17 hours, and I would like to say I would never do it again, but I did that drive 3 more times. Okay, so boom, that's how you move in all those little areas. So now we're in Phoenix. Okay, this is when life starts freaking lifing, and I feel like this needs to be another video on its own, because good God, and it probably will be at some point, excuse me. So moved to Phoenix, start doing my travel assignment, and my thought process with the travel assignment was, it's only 3 months, I can renew it, or I can find somewhere else to work. Cool, perfect. Y'all, I lasted 2 months in that job before my body was just like, I can't do this. And at this point, all these skills I've accumulated that I forgot to bring up, sound healing, Reiki, I've always wanted to be a piercer, always. And at this point, I've learned how to be very, I used to be very introverted. With all of these moves, I've had to learn how to be extroverted. And I think a lot of it came from faking it till I made it. And now I think it's just a part of me. I still do prefer to be inside, but you know, whatever. So yeah, sound healing, Reiki, wanted to be a piercer, and I actually started emailing people to, like, I started going on TikTok and Instagram, actually Instagram. I started going through Instagram looking for piercers and things like that so I could have like an apprenticeship, because I forgot to tell you, in Atlanta, I looked for an apprenticeship and I actually found someone, but she was very unorganized and our energies didn't mesh. I wanted to learn from someone who genuinely genuinely loved and felt like they loved their thing, like their career. Like they were passionate about it. And the girl that I found in Atlanta, she just wasn't it. So started emailing in Arizona while I'm still working my job. And then in May, I just quit. I actually found the piercing apprenticeship in July actually, but I quit my job in May to start doing sound healing, Reiki, in-home services, because one of the reasons I was so kind of big on Arizona was it's a very spiritual place. And they very much put on the forefront wellness in Arizona, Sedona, all of that. So I was like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to do this. It's taxing on my body. Set up my website, guys. I paid someone actually, because the original website was done personally by a friend for free, and she did my website. The second time around, I wanted something different, and so I paid someone to change it. And the girl, my friend who did the first one, was beautiful, amazing. I just wanted a different direction. And actually, I think me and her weren't in the best place at that point. We weren't, which is sad. We're good now. That's my dog. But anyway, so website, and set up my website. I set up prices. I like sat in a cafe one day and did all of this. Like I remember actually when I finally launched my website and was so like proud. There's a video of it. I need to find it. But launched my website and I started doing sound baths in people's homes. I had been going to the gym, so I actually talked to my no. I started going into people's homes. The first person I used was at the time she was not my trainer, but I forgot how I got in contact with her, but I ended up working in her home, doing a sound bath, Reiki, and a journaling prompt for her, like a whole combination service, and fell in love with her. And I went to do a training with her, and I was like, you're my trainer now. I'm your sound healer and you're my trainer. So I actually started doing events at her place, her studio. And then I started going into people's homes and I loved it. Like it's something so personal about just being in someone's home and helping them to like align and heal and do, like, it's beautiful. And I want to bring that to Dallas. So if you see me out here, just know y'all are gonna see me out here actually. I'm excited because I want to bring that to Dallas. It's such a beautiful experience. I was doing like bachelorette parties and birthdays and things in home, and like I would bring my bowls, I would set up and just have everyone like just lay down and exist. So at this point, I'm doing all of this. I'm like growing and learning in my skills and picking up new skills in every city. And it's honestly beautiful. So Arizona is where I kind of started learning that like I have a thing for this. Like this is the business I want to be in. Like I'm starting to come into myself without fully coming into myself, because I'm just now getting to the point of realizing where I want to be now. Another story, we'll talk about it. Anyways, so all of that's happening, and then in July I meet Ashley. In August I meet Ashley, my mentor who taught me how to pierce. And the month before that, I dropped a weight on my toe, guys, and I broke it. My pinky toe broke. Like I dropped a weight dead on my toe. Broke it, went to the urgent care. They were like, oh, you're fine. It's just, we're going to give you some sutures and wrap you all up. Y'all, I was not fine. That toe was messed up forever. So August, I'm walking again. And I start my piercing apprenticeship. Loved it. You can go to my page on Instagram, Soul Alchemy Collective. You can see all the piercings and things like that. I want to start getting into that. I need to find a piercing spot out here. So if you know a place who's hiring part-time piercers, please holler at your girl. Please put in a word for me, because I want to be back into the ear curation vibe. I love a little, like, have I ever showed y'all my ear? Like, Boom. Okay, boom. That's one ear. Can we see this one? Boom. Get into it. Okay, like, and I've pierced my ear myself twice. The rest of them were done by someone else. But this whole time, I am still walking on this foot that was supposed to be healed. And I am learning piercings and everything. I am not really working in my career. I'm kind of part-time in my OT bag, but because I need consistent funds, but I'm trying to figure out my business. At this point, I formed an LLC, all the things. Spent that whole year. I'm gonna fast forward through this because I just feel like this is getting really long. If you have any questions, I'll just make different videos. But if you have questions, we can talk about it, okay? But actually, I think I'm gonna do a Q&A for moving, because there are so many tips that I want to tell you guys, and I just feel like there's not enough room in this one video. So if you have any questions about moving, just put them in the comments, and I'm gonna make a list and just go through it at some point and make a video. But anyways, so 2023, I'm still doing all of that. Around then, I also realized that okay, so 2023 was wild. Let's get into this. Okay, 2023, my toe was still not healed. I was having difficulty walking, and I couldn't really do my career, my OT career, because I was like, why the heck can I not walk? I can't pick people up if I can't walk. So I went to the podiatrist. I'm on Medicaid at this point because my funds are like non-existent, and which is crazy. Like, my finances have been like so all over the place. Like, I'm just not used to, I was so used to having stability, and now that I'm like following my dreams and things, it's just been a lot trickier. Do I regret it? No. But do I enjoy my stability? Absolutely. Anyways, so found out that they were like, oh, you could have osteomyelitis, or it could still be broken, da 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 da. At this point, I just found out my sister's pregnant, and my family's in a tizzy. I found out that my toe was still broken, and I need surgery at this point. And we scheduled that out for September. Yeah, we scheduled that out for September. In the same breath, my finances are going to hell. And then my family went through a very difficult time. My sister, more than anybody, the father of my nieces, I can't even say this, geez. The father of my sister's child, the father of my niece, that's what I was trying to say, passed unexpectedly. And that was in June, July. Right around the time I found out I needed to have surgery. And then August, I had my car accident. Keep in mind, all of my family is in Alabama, and I don't have a support system at this point. Like, I have a support system kind of to an extent, but not like, you know, what I'm used to, where it's just like community and everyone rapping there. I'm having to figure this out on my own. Like, not being, when I broke my toe and I couldn't do anything, I was pretty much doing everything on my own for the most part. It was just a lot. But that happened, and then August, someone was not paying attention and totaled my car. That was like the last straw. Keep in mind, I said my surgery was scheduled for September. So someone totaled my car. I can't walk. I can't get to my family. I don't have a car. And then I had surgery. My now ex took me or helped me or picked me up or whatever. And because I had surgery, so I had all this medication and everything. So now we're in September, and all of these things have happened, and my surgery is just now completed. So after about a month, I literally was like, oh, I can walk. Like, they gave me the okay to walk. I did not go to physical therapy. Yeah, I'm a horrible therapist. I did not go to physical therapy. I kind of therapized myself. Would not recommend, don't do it. But yeah, I said screw this, because at this point Phoenix wasn't feeling like home. It didn't feel like a place that I wanted to stay forever. And I really just missed my family. Like, my sister had a baby. This is my first like niece from my mom's children, my first niece nephew from my mom's children, like first time being an aunt, like, oh my gosh, from like them. And then my sister's going through a lot. I want to be there for her. I want to be there for my niece. I want to be there for my family. I need help and support. And I was just like, screw it, I'm going home. Y'all, I kid you not, my sister wasn't due till November. My sister was not due till November. I had this knowing. I had this knowing. I was like, you know what, I'm going home. I kid you not. I called them, I booked my flight. I think I made it home on the 17th that night. So I didn't make it home till like 1 in the morning. So technically the 18th. The 18th, we go straight to her appointment, her doctor's appointment. And the doctor was like, yeah, no, we're going to induce her at 6 in the morning tomorrow. And keep in mind, it was like 3 in the evening on the 18th. I got home right in time. I got to see my niece born. I got to be present in that. And it was the most disgusting, beautiful, amazing experience ever. Even though I asked them, asked them to not let me see anything that I did not want to see. They still had me front row and center. Thank you, doctors. Love it. Yeah, that was a lot. But yeah, so that happens. And at this point, I'm like, screw this. I'm moving. You know what happens when the girl says she's moving? I'm moving. Yeah. And at first when I said it, I really thought I was joking, actually. Like in my head, I was like, yeah, no, I'm really not gonna move. Why would I do that? I'm 25 hours away. That just feels like a lot of work. I moved out here. I might as well stay. Keep in mind, I still don't have a car. So I'm just chilling at home. I stayed at home for a month because I couldn't do anything anyways. I was still healing. So November, we'll just say the 17th. I can't remember dates. 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there. November, then I got my car in Alabama. November 18th, because I was like, I'm moving to Dallas, right? I just said, you know, I'm just gonna play around and see what happens. I'm really not moving, right? I'm not gonna do it. But in my head, I'm like, I'm moving. I'm telling myself I'm moving, but I'm not moving. Get in my car the next day after I get it. Drive to Dallas and I didn't know anyone. I knew one person and I stayed with them to visit. I actually just went to visit them. So I still didn't do anything. I didn't even go to Dallas per se. I was in Fort Worth and we just stayed at the house and chilled. So I didn't even experience Dallas or Fort Worth. We stayed in the house and I was like, okay, cool. I left from Dallas because I needed a halfway point and drove to Arizona. That was November 23. Cool. December comes, January comes, and I'm like still thinking about moving. And then February, I was like, no, I'm moving. I'm moving. Still hadn't told anybody. I'm still doing piercings and things because I think in my head, I just was like, it just feels insane to move for the 100th time. Like, I keep moving. What? Girl, you have to settle down somewhere. And I feel like I look crazy to my family and to the outside world, but it's also just like, baby, live your life. You have this one life to live. Just explore. Like, I think if nothing else, if y'all take nothing else from this story, just know that it's okay to pivot and to not have anything figured out because I'm still in the middle of it. And all of these experiences have brought me further into like the sound baths, the Reiki, I started hosting events. Like I hosted an event at an apartment complex with like so many people. Like I've just started gaining new skills and just getting more confidence in myself, my abilities and gifts and things. And it's been beautiful, scary, but beautiful. So if you take nothing else, baby, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to not know. It's not okay to stay stagnant and be scared and not do the things that you want to do. Like, don't let that fear hold you back. Even if it looks crazy to the outside world, baby, do it every time. Okay, do it scared, do it broke, do it without a plan. I'd prefer have a plan if you want life to be a little bit different for you, but and maybe some stability, but also just know that you are protected and guided and divinely guided, okay, if you're in your faith. So like just follow your gut, follow your instincts, follow your faith, whatever it is, just follow that and just know. Because even when I find my apartments, it's always been on I have 2 days or something and this feels right. Like I'm guided there. The apartment that I'm at now in Dallas, this was not even on my list. And we'll get to that later. This was nowhere near my list. I just drove by it and I was like, I'm gonna try it out. And I loved it. I almost told you where I was at. That's inappropriate. But anyway, so I'm in Arizona and by March, I finally told people I was moving and it was real then. And I'm not going to take you through this whole story because I'm pretty sure I told you in the previous video. And if you want to know more, you can go to that video. It's the first video I ever posted with all the pink. It's how I moved to Dallas without a plan. But I found my apartment in 2 days. And the rest is history in that other video because now you guys know where I'm at in this current stage of my life. And now we're here. I picked up and left Arizona. Oh wait, no, all of this is in that video. Yeah, no, I don't have to go over this anymore. Oh my gosh. So that move is already documented on my previous YouTube. Go to my very first video. It's how I moved to Dallas unplanned or something along those lines. Watch that one because that's actually crazy. And where I'm at now is, it's so funny. This is not even a part of moving, but I'm gonna tell you guys regardless. It's so funny because it's not a part of it. Jeez, I have never, even though I haven't been in my career as much as most therapists have been these last couple of years. I've always been able to have a job, like keep a job. I might be a little Uncle Tommy. People might not believe me, or not Uncle, but Tommy from Martin. I might be Tommy, but I really do be having a job. Y'all just don't know it. But I've always been able to have multiple jobs actually. So like when I moved here, losing jobs is unheard of, especially for like in therapy. For me, like it just made no sense. Losing 2 jobs in less than 6 months. If I have taken nothing else as a sign, baby, that's a sign. I'm not saying I'm not going to do my career. I'm going to use it. I worked damn hard to get that degree and that license. So I'm going to use both. But will it be full-time? No, I think it'll be more supplemental. I'm going full into my passions, and I'm just going to have to bet on myself. And God, I'm going to have to bet on God because, baby, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just taking it day by day. I'm going to get back into sound baths, hosting events, hosting parties and things like that in home, hosting couple sessions in home, because I love it bad. The goal is to start building community for people. I want to start hosting like monthly events for like women specifically. I want to host community events for women. I want women to have genuine connections and friendships. That is a goal of mine. I need to find a piercing space. I don't know if my voice did that. I need to find a piercing space so I can do that part-time. This is me just telling you my goals here because we're in this together. We're in the club. We all fam. That's it. We're all family here now. That would make me happy to build a community for women, Black women. I mean, women in general, but Black women, love us real bad. I do want to build a community. I want to also get back into adornments. I'm going to start selling waist beads again. Like, it's just so many things that, like, so many gifts and skills, I guess is what I'm getting at, that I picked up since moving. And nothing has gone as planned and everything has been scary. And I would do it all over again. It's just been such a beautiful journey. A beautifully chaotic journey. That's the one. Beautifully chaotic journey. Phew. Because Lord knows it has not been easy. But I'm glad to be able to share this with you guys. Oh, that's the last thing. The goal for this YouTube channel is to be monetized, okay? To come on here and have girl talks with you, to give you tips and tricks and all the things for moving, for lifestyle, for, I don't know, maybe I'll implement some hairstyles in here because I feel like this little, can y'all get into this? I'm gonna show you my outfit. Can y'all get into these little pigtails with a little blonde streak and the little clacker balls and the little doops? Let me show you my outfit because, baby girl. My inner child is so happy. Like, oh, I need an esthetician. My inner child is so happy, guys. Like, this is beside the point. Okay, I'm getting off topic. I think this is about a 40-minute long video. This was definitely on accident. It's supposed to be 20 minutes. So yeah. Thank you guys for staying if you watched the whole thing. If not, it's been great. Anyways, again, like, subscribe, comment, share. Help a girl, okay? Support a girl's dreams, okay? Because it means a lot. And I appreciate you guys, and that's it. Bye-bye.